So I've just weighed in and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I am 161.4. Okay, this day is not going as intended. I have about 7,400 steps and right now it is 6:45 p.m. We had company over at my mom's place, so things were a little bit busy. And you know, when you have company, you're mostly just like sitting down and entertaining, eating food, all that stuff. So I've logged all my calories for the day. I think I only have room for a shake left to hit my calories. And yeah, I'm gonna go and get these steps done now.
Let's jump to our next hack. Hack number 3 is placing text imaging.
So I actually just took out my sourdough starter yesterday night. I'm gonna feed it. It's right here right now. So I need to feed it so that it is at least double this. And then from there, it should double. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna discard part of it just to make sure that we have enough room so that it can grow. So this actually might do the trick. This is one. So I just finished my meeting and it's 12:30. It was only supposed to be 2 hours, but it ended up being 2.5 hours long. And I have 785 steps. So we're gonna go and do like 10 more minutes of work and then I'm gonna go on lunch, but I'm gonna try and get some steps in while I'm working. It is 4 o'clock right now. I am at 7,000 steps. Again, I am not where I want to be. This has been a very behind the 8 ball type of day, especially for a Monday. So I'm not loving that, but I still have time. It's 4 o'clock. I still have time to get my other steps in. And luckily I only have 5,000 steps left to do. I'm more than halfway. She's doubled. Mixing this all up. Now it looks like a nice shaggy dough. Might not be pretty, but we're getting things done. I'm at almost 10,000 steps and it is 5 p.m. Just like that, I surpassed my goal.
You've tried to be nice and tell me everything.
I'm almost at 14,000 steps, 13,745 steps. It is 7:10 p.m. I'm probably gonna end up hitting 4,000 by the time I go to bed. And that's it for the night. I'm probably gonna have a bowl of some chips and maybe some chocolate chips, and then I'm gonna call it because I will have reached my calories. It is 8:06 a.m. I'm at around 5,000 steps. Scored and ready to go. This is always the most stressful part. Did it rise or is it flat? Ooh, beautiful. That is a very well risen loaf. Oh my goodness. This is a beautiful loaf. of course, my yogurt breakfast. 10,000 steps, 11:24 a.m. We still have lots of time. Let's do a little taste test. That's good. I always sprinkle a little bit of salt on it after I put my butter on. Delicious. If you are someone who struggles with sticking to your workouts or getting your steps in, you need to pair it with something that you want to do. And for me, I used to do this all the time. I don't really do it so much anymore because I'm like pretty good with being consistent or showing up, but I'll have like a show that I really want to watch. For example, like Love is Blind France. That's what I watch while I work out, and I only really watch it while I'm working out or cooking dinner, but otherwise I made myself a rule I'm not allowed to watch it. So if you want a tip on how to like stay more consistent, pair it with something that you actually want to do. So, you know, if you want to watch Love is Blind, then you can only watch it while you're working out. Right, Oscar? Right?
God, it's so cold.
It's cold. It's freezing.
My sister-in-law is boring. And she's
You're
acting.
lying.
I swear.
Definition? Just look at us. You'll understand. Well, Black Love is actually an American concept. It means black couples are the
I want to talk to you.
Just things that shock me, like they are.
If you want. You know I like talking.
Workout is complete and I only have 1,500 steps left to do, and it is 1:45. Nothing too exciting here, just a shake for lunch.
God is still writing, and one day you'll look back and see how the darkest chapter made way for the.
It's 6 p.m. and I have 13,602 steps. I'm just about to make some turkey meatballs for dinner, and then we'll have some chicken and some little broccolis, and that's gonna be our dinner tonight. You'll see. These are my Thanksgiving meatballs. Thanksgiving meatballs. It is 4:45 a.m. I have 129 steps, and today is going to be a struggle because I can't go on a walk this morning, so we'll see how everything works out. This is the look today. It is 5:30. I'm all ready to go to work, and I only have 188 steps, so this is where things are going to be challenging today, for sure. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I have about 6 minutes until I have to leave, so I plan, well, actually like 9 minutes. I have 10 minutes, so I'm going to walk on here for 5 minutes just because I got some time to do that. So let's see what we get to. We didn't make much of a difference. I might have 863 steps, but it's something. Something is better than nothing. Okay, I am home now. It is 12:24. I had my meeting this morning. Everything went great. I have 3,800 steps, so I have a lot of catching up to do, but luckily my boss said I could go home, so here I am. I'm just heating up my lunch. I'm gonna probably try and walk while I have a meeting, but I'll just turn my camera off. So that's the plan for today. So I'm actually very happy that I was able to get some steps in, and now I only have 10,000 left to do ish. Well, that's if I want to hit 14,000. So yeah, we'll see. A couple of pieces of sourdough, some turkey meatballs, potatoes, and broccoli. Oh my goodness. It is 4:20 and I just woke up from a nap. I'm so tired and I only have 6,500 steps. So like I said, I did not start my day off the right way, mostly because I didn't have very much of a choice. And like, this is how it feels when you put yourself behind the 8 ball. But like I said, this is just not something that I have to do all the time. I have to be like downtown at a certain time and have to do like a 2+ hour commute. So I'm gonna go break up my steps now. I'm probably gonna do like maybe 3,000 now and then another 3,000 later and see where I get to. But first, I'm gonna have a little snack. I'm gonna have like an apple or something. Apples with cinnamon are so good. The way I would so much rather be in bed right now, but I'm not. We're here. We are doing our steps. So it's been 25 minutes on the walking pad and I now have 9,500 steps. Woo! I've just hit 12,000 and I'm gonna do one more because I complained today. Oh my, I'm sweaty. 13,049 steps. Dinner. It is 8:24. I have 285 steps. I'm doing some walking right now. We did not wake up. No, let me rephrase that. I did not wake up early to walk this morning. First of all, it was raining. And second of all, I was so exhausted. But on a positive note, I have officially hit 5 pounds down. So that's good. I almost tried to gaslight myself into thinking that like this needs to be harder than it is. So yeah. This is breakfast and it is 10:16 and I only have 1,500 steps. Just started my lunch. It is 12 p.m. and I have 4,700 steps.
Do you like working with it? What's it with?
And super fit women with nice bodies.
You are on Clover Center 1.
He's overreacting.
Why are you letting go of my hand?
No.
Me, your 6X's scrolling through all their filtered pictures with their asses.
I do a lot of walking on my walking pad, but my husband thinks that it's funny to put my shoes up here whenever I leave them on the treadmill, which is probably fair, but I just thought it'd be funny to show you where he put them. Lunch, eggs, ground beef, and some sourdough. So I just realized I have a meeting in 30 minutes, so I need to put some makeup on. But you know what's so funny is like I've officially lost 5 pounds now as of the scale weight this morning, which I'm so happy about. And I was telling my husband, this has been the easiest that I've ever like lost weight before in my life. And I feel like as somebody who comes from a competitive background, like I used to do the craziest diets and I would lose like 25 pounds in like 8 weeks. Like it was like always crash dieting. And I would never do that ever again. Like I would never compete in a bodybuilding show. I have so much respect for what they do, but just all of the damage that it's done to my body, you know, like hormonally, and it just destroyed me. It was way too much stress. So I would never personally do it, but it was so funny. The other day I was thinking about it and I almost gaslit myself into thinking that I need to do more because this is too easy. Like I was like, oh, you know, maybe I need to pick up running or something. And it's like, I fucking hate running. Why would I run? So all that to say that like, this process so far has been pretty easy. I haven't had any moments where I've wanted to slip up. Tomorrow night, I'm having I'm having a girls' night with my friends, and we're gonna do like paint and wine, so a wine and paint night. I actually don't know if I'm gonna drink yet. I haven't decided, but either way, I know that if I said, hey guys, I'm trying to lose weight right now, they would be like, oh my gosh, that's great. And they would be so supportive and they wouldn't make a big deal about it. I have other friends who, like, if I were to tell them that in the past, they would have been like, oh, come on, just have some, like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm not a big drinker anyway, so it really doesn't make a huge difference. Like, for me, I would probably have like a drink. That's like what drinking looks like for me. So it would not be anything crazy. It would just be a drink. And, you know, since I am trying to conceive and all of that stuff, and I've tried not drinking, I've tried drinking, I've tried relaxing, I've tried, testing, I have tried so many different things. I have tried Mucinex. Like, I have done all of the things. So honestly, drinking or not drinking, I feel like it really doesn't matter because I'm not a big drinker anyways. So I'm not focused on like, oh, well, I don't want to drink because of my fertility, because right now, nothing's working. So whether I drink or I don't, that might not lead to me getting pregnant. Whether I do or I don't, it's not going to change the outcome. And that's the same way that I feel about testing and, taking my supplements and all of that stuff, and like why I've been in such this like limbo period of like, oh, well, I don't want to be in a calorie deficit because I don't want to stress out my body, because what if I find out I'm pregnant in 2 weeks? Okay, well, I've done that so many times for almost an entire year now, like literally in October. So basically next week, it will be a full year of trying to conceive. And I did get pregnant on my very first time, and it did end in a miscarriage. And so it is what it is. What am I doing here? So it is what it is. There's no magic that you can do, and I'm starting to realize that. I've tried all of the things, and I feel like the more that we try to like have control over the situation and try to make it seem like it is within our control, that it makes you feel a lot more crazier, and you just feel so let down by your body and by you. You just feel like you're not doing enough. But if you've done all of those things and you're still not pregnant, girl, it is not your time. It is in God's timing. And I have been like reading this and like hearing like all these different quotes about how, like, when God takes something away from you, he's going to give you more than what you asked for. And so I am just really banking on that like I've been hoping and praying and doing all of the things to try and get my body right. And this is, one thing that I can do to take my focus off of it and stop trying to control that, and like just shift it more towards becoming happier within myself. And I know that, like weight loss isn't going to change it might not change very much, but it might change how happy I am within my body, and it'll be easier for me to live in that, being more content and comfortable with who I am and how I am, than continuing to go on like this, being at the whim of my 2-week wait literally every 2 weeks. It is such a difficult thing to go through, and I keep seeing this like posted all over TikTok too, that like aside from like a very scary diagnosis for your health, the second hardest thing to go through is infertility. And I've always tried to like choose my words carefully when it comes to like talking about my fertility. I'll always say like my fertility this, my fertility that. I don't like to use the word infertility because I truly don't think that I am. I think that this is like a timing thing, and I've gone through all of the upset and anger and sadness about like, why me? Why did this happen? Why is it easier for everyone else? And like, somebody has to go through it. Someone has to go through it so that it's the same contrast as like how there's like good and evil. And I'm not saying that any of this is evil or, you know, but it makes it so much sweeter when you do get it. And so I'm trying not to place any meaning on why. And I've done that. I am totally guilty of that. I think in my mind, the way that I've tried to like process it is like, because I have somebody that's very close to me who's sick, that if my baby would have been born by now, I would have had a 2.5-month-old baby right now, if everything worked out, which it didn't. But if it had, I don't know that I would be able to be there as much as I have been able to for my mom who is sick. So if I had a baby, I would have been so happy. You know what I mean? But it's like, if you think about it that way, like, you know, there's so many different like rabbit holes that you can go into about like placing so much meaning on all of these things. And at the end of the day, sometimes we don't know the reasons why. Sometimes we will never get answers to it either. It's not for us to know. God has a plan, and we just have to trust the timing of his plan. And I know that it will happen, but for now, this is what I feel like I'm being called to focus on for myself. Maybe to get myself back into a place where like I'm finding more joy and love within myself, because that has definitely been something that I've been not the most kind with. Like, I've just been feeling like my body is failing me and not doing what I wanted to do. So hopefully that helps give you some perspective. But yeah, that's my little yap while I put my makeup on for my meeting. 5:30. I am at just under 10,000 steps. So we are making our way. We are going to get this done today. It is 6:13 right now, and I have hit my steps. I'm at 13,000 steps. I'm going to do my last round of stretch and folds, and I actually think I might go do one more 1,000 steps because my husband's not home tonight. He's watching football with his friends. So I could just lay down and do absolutely nothing, or I could walk for another 10 minutes and then I'll have my salad, and then I'll watch some Love is Blind, France, and then we'll chill out for the night. Another day of completely putting myself behind the 8 ball. It is 8:30. I've already started work. I don't have very many steps. This is the first time I'm walking downstairs, and well, for one, I have to feed my dog, but two, I've got to get the sourdough in the oven. I'm at 3,300 steps. Moment of truth. Ooh, wow. She's really fluffy. Oh my goodness. Duh, of course we're having this. I have another shake for lunch and a piece of my sourdough. It is 4:30 and I am just at my 12,000 steps now. We're gonna do one more for good luck. Woke up late after girls' night yesterday, so we are doing our walk now. (10:03), 5,500 steps. So we are just getting ready to get going right now. It's 10:23. I have 5,700 steps, and we're gonna have to get the rest in later because we are gonna be busy today. So that's where we're at. I've wrapped up week 3, It is 9:52 in the morning. I just weighed myself and took my progress pictures, which I will not be sharing the pictures. I just don't feel ready for that just yet. But I am down some weight. So last week, I think I weighed in at 161.4, and this week I am 160.8. I do feel like Sundays are a good way to kind of like wrap up the week, but I also feel like they're very challenging because I do calorie cycling. So I have more food on Saturday and Sundays versus like during the week when like my calories are a little bit more stable. So the extra food I feel like does add some weight on when I go to weigh myself on Sundays. And like yesterday specifically, I had a really high sodium day. My mother-in-law made these really good short ribs and they had like tons of soy sauce and like hoisin sauce on it. So I do feel like I could be holding on to water, especially because I haven't drank much water today. Actually, I have not drank any water today and I've gone to the bathroom several times. So I know that I am still holding on to water. So I suspect that my weight is actually lower. But it is what it is. It's okay. So my technical weigh-in day from when I first started this is actually going to be on Tuesday. So I'm going and doing the Sundays just for the purposes of keeping it clean for YouTube so that I can have these posted by Monday afternoon. But my actual weigh-in day is going to be on Tuesdays. And that is when I first started this whole thing of like focusing on my weight loss while I'm trying to get pregnant. And so I'm now like just entering into my fertile window. And I don't know, like there's like a part of me is just like I use the Mira hormones monitor testing thing. So it's like this little like egg shaped thing. I wish I had it beside me, but I don't. But I use that and like you basically like pee and then you put a little wand into it for 20 seconds. And then you put it into this like little machine thing that looks like an egg. And then it'll tell you like what your hormones are doing. So because of the like high sodium yesterday, I don't know if like my LH is just like not really doing a whole lot, but in past cycles, like this is where I would start to begin to see a rise. So maybe by tomorrow or Tuesday, it will actually reflect the way that I think it will. My ovulation is going to be like in, I think like 4 days or something like that. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Obviously, the goal is to try and conceive and, have it stick. So that's been something that's been a challenge. I am really happy that I have lost 5 pounds in the past 3 weeks. Like I started at 165.8 and I'm down to 160.8. And I do know that a lot of this is like, I was not dialed in with my nutrition because I was just trying to be as, easygoing as possible. But sometimes sometimes you actually need that. Like I feel like I needed that because I had a whole lot of stuff going on and I still do. I just am, I guess, processing it better, or I've had more time to like sit in it and feel it and like be able to work through it better. And I've also like left a lot of this up to God and whatever God's will is. And I don't know what is going to happen. It's clearly not going on my timeline and like my timing. So that's why I've got to just let it go. But yeah, this week was a lot more challenging because I did have to wake up on Wednesday at like 4 o'clock in the morning to go do a presentation. And then the rest of this week was like very social for me. So like Friday night, my God, I'm so stuffy right now. Friday night, I had a girls' night with 2 of my girlfriends and we were supposed to do paint night. And I feel like this always happens where we're planning to do something and then we just end up talking so much that we don't end up doing it. Like we'll be like, yeah, let's get together and we'll watch the show. And then we get together and we just chit chat the whole time. But it was so much fun and I ended up going to sleep at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't film anything, but like basically we had really good Turkish food. It was so good. And then Saturday, I went out to my in-laws. We went to go see our niece and we went for a family walk. So like I was able to get my steps in on all of these days because I was able to prioritize it. So I planned around everything and then we made it fun. We made it very fun so that we could all still go for a walk together. And like when I came home, I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna have to still do any steps, because by the time I left there, I had about 11,000. And then I know that my goal is 12,000, but like in my mind, it's 13,000. So I'm reading this book, The Power of One More. And so I just keep thinking like, okay, well, what if I just do one more thousand? So that's why my steps have all been like at like 13, 14,000. I'm trying to go high so that there's no question whether or not I'm putting in the effort or not. So that is my approach to this whole thing. And like with my food, I typically eat around like 1650 calories during the week. And then on the weekends, I'm having around like 1800. And yesterday I honestly was just not hungry. So I had one, it was kind of like I did OMAD, but like I had one meal yesterday and then I went and like dropped off some stuff for my mom. And then like after we left my in-laws house, we went grocery shopping. Then I went and dropped off my mom's groceries for her, and my aunt and uncle were there. So they're all having dessert. So then of course my husband and I, we had to go and like have a couple of bites. So like he grabbed like 3 of these little bars and I took like a couple of bites out of them. They were so small. And then I had some chips later that night, and that was basically it. And then today I haven't even eaten yet, and I've gotten up so late. I've been so tired this week between like going to bed and like not sleeping very well, and then having to wake up super early, and then Friday night going to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then waking up in the middle of the night so many times. Like, oh, so I slept 9 hours last night and it was bliss. I have taken my time to get out of bed and I still don't feel awake. And I know it's because I'm like so congested from these allergies. And so this week, my focus is really just to be a lot more consistent with waking up early to go for our walks in the morning at like 5 a.m. when we normally go. Because this week, not doing that made me feel like I was always playing catch up. And that just goes to show you the power of waking up early, planning for these things ahead of time, and actually making it a priority to do something when you say that you're going to do it. And it sets you up for success every day because you are already like almost halfway there. And then you have like those random steps that you're doing throughout the day that you only need like one more intentional walk. But because I have a walking pad, it makes it a lot easier. But there are times when I'm in a meeting and I'm presenting and I can't be on my walking pad. And sometimes those meetings are 2 hours long. So I don't have the option to just like, walk during that. So I really have to plan it right. And I feel like this upcoming week, I'm going to finally get into the 150s. So that's going to like add some more like fire to me. And I just keep going through this whole thing of like, if I get pregnant this cycle, then blah, like then like this will be my due date and da 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 and all this stuff. And it's just like now, like going into October is officially 1 year since trying to conceive. It just, I don't know, it weighs heavy on me. Like I know that we waited to start trying. Like I'm 35. If you don't know, I know you probably can't tell because my face looks so young, but I know that we waited. And I also know that we are trying during a very, very stressful time. My mom is sick and I am like one of her like primary caregivers. And so it's hard, it's hard to go through something like this, like fertility issues, while you're also caring for somebody, and you know that your body can do it because it's done it before, but I didn't think that it would take this long. Like it's a year now, and Yeah, and you know what? Like, I hear so much advice from people, and I know it's with the best of intentions, but sometimes it just really hurts. When someone tells me to like just relax, I don't I don't have that option. But then I also think about people who are in war zones who get pregnant all the time. I'm like, they're not relaxed. So then it kind of feels like it's putting blame on me that I can't get my body into this like state of relaxation because I have a lot of stuff going on. And like, is it selfish of me to want to experience like pregnancy with my mom here? Maybe, maybe. But why wouldn't I try? Why wouldn't I try? I also am 35. I am not at an optimal age to start trying. And I am considered a mature maternal age or geriatric, whatever. I don't like that to use that word, but I know all these things. And so this is why, like, this is the reason why I want to make sure that like I am trying and I'm not giving up. And I also know that like it's not going to happen when I want it to, because if it did, I would have had a baby by now. And my baby would have already been like almost 3 months old. So then I think about things and I'm like, okay, well, this is really like, everything really is like based on God's timing. And maybe the plan was that I was not supposed to have a baby right now because I have to be here for my mom. And would I really be able to do both? So I always think about that. But if you've watched this far, thank you for supporting me on my journey. I am also a holistic nutritionist. I focus on gut health, hormones, and weight loss. So if you're somebody who needs help with any of those things, then go to the link in the description. I have a free quiz that you could do. I also have a bunch of freebies on my website, and you can also book a free discovery call with me if you're open to wanting to chat about how I can help you. I am thinking about running a challenge soon, like with walking and like, you know, just accountability. So if that's something that interests you, then make sure you go to my website and go to subscribe on there to my email list so that you are aware of it. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, like we have like 12 weeks left in this year, and like it's really important to like lock in. And I know that I've been seeing that everywhere. It's like, this is the great lock in, everybody needs to lock in, but you can make so many changes within this amount of time. So like, for example, I'm coming up to 3 weeks soon of losing weight, and I'm on a trajectory of maybe losing around like 0.6 to 1 pound per week. And I've obviously lost more than that because the first couple weeks you do lose a lot more, a lot quicker. But if I don't get pregnant, I would still have 12 weeks left of this year. I could still lose 12 pounds. I know that my body would look very different losing 12 pounds than what it does now. I know that if I were to lose 12 pounds, I would be in the 140s, and like that would make me super happy. So I would be even close to my goal of like 145, which is entirely possible depending on like how much effort I put in. I am thinking about increasing my steps and making like a 14K minimum this week, because in my mind, the goal is 12K, but my minimum this week was 13K. I know it doesn't make any sense. Don't ask me to explain it. Anyways, I'm not going to go on another tangent here about this, but if you have stuck around this long, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so that you know when I have new videos coming out. I am going to try and do this on a weekly basis. And hopefully if you're here, then you're welcome to join me on this journey so we can do this all together and we can lose weight, try to get pregnant, and try to conceive by lowering our inflammation, keeping our hormones happy, and making sure that we are just doing the friggin' most that we can possibly do that's within our control for our fertility. And yeah, sending baby dust to all of you. And for those of you who are just here for a weight loss journey, then we've got this. Let's go.